I'm Lori Tucker. I am so glad to have this opportunity to share some thoughts with you today. You know, I've been spending a lot of time here at Volunteer Ministry Center recently, here at the corner of 5th and Broadway, and you may already know that VMC works to prevent and end homelessness. Well, let's talk about prevention for a moment. Bush Family Refuge, where trained volunteers help the marginally housed who are at risk of falling into homelessness. And then we talk about ending it. The Resource Center here, where the homeless go when they want help leaving the life of the streets for good. You may be aware that there is an outstanding dental clinic here at VMC, but you may not know the guiding principles behind VMC's work and what accounts for their success. It was news to me, and I really want to share it with you. 3 things of utmost importance: compassion, accountability, results. Let's start with compassion, meeting people where they are in their hour of greatest need.
At the Bush Family Refuge, we work with people who are at the end of their rope. They are people who are suffering in this economy. Some of them have lost their jobs and have no idea how they're going to pay rent or utilities this month. They are so frightened, especially if they have children. Our job is to be with them in this crisis and help them find a way through it. When they're really scared, when they're really down, that's when they need us most.
I have an uncanny love for people that nobody else seems to love. So to me, I see God in those people, and I love them. So I can't walk by and not try and establish some kind of relationship or some kind of friendship. You know, sometimes people won't even talk to me the first several times just because they have no trust for strangers or anyone really. But over time, I've seen people come a long way.
It's just so nice to me. If I had bad days, if I didn't have my medicine, I had thoughts in my head about killing us, I always went to her. She's helped me so much.
I enjoy coming here because it's an enjoyable place to be. People the volunteers that come have a genuine care for the patients and the people, the residents and the clients that come. And I enjoy being a part of that. I also enjoy it because it gives me an opportunity to provide some needed dental care for patients who probably would not get it otherwise. The real thing is, it's just a matter of caring for people, and I enjoy doing that.
Accountability is another strong value at VMC. It means that we expect the person being helped to also help themselves.
People that are on the streets, they have so little expectations placed on them that it's easy to fall into not expecting much of yourself. And some people are honestly not ready for the things that we here at VMC expect of them as they're trying to get into housing. But for those who realize that there are goals that they have to reach and things they have to do, I think it helps just wake them up and shake them up a little bit to realize that things aren't going to be given to you. You have to work for them.
Darryl, when you told me that, Cordia, you're not going to make it the way you're going. And you caring about me. And I woke up one morning, I said, you know what? I never took anything serious since my mom died. And it's kind of heartbreaking, you know. You cared about me. You cared about my life. If it wasn't for you and turning my higher power, I wouldn't have made it. But I made it. I straightened up. Start drinking. You told me this drinking was going to kill you, and it was. And still, I appreciate it, man.
I really believe in the work of the VMC because I've seen for myself that the clients are held accountable. That's important to me. I think it's important to the community. It means that we don't give a free ride. We expect people to pitch in, help themselves, even as we work with them. That's why I've served on the VMC Board of Directors for 6 years. and why I've been delighted to serve as chairman of the board. Accountability. It's a big word, and we live up to it here at the VMC.
The Volunteer Ministry Center has always been very important to us. And I feel that when I donate my money to the Volunteer Ministry Center, that it is going to help the most people that it can. I believe so strongly in their mission and in the opportunities that they offer for people in our city who are experiencing difficulty for one reason or another. I just feel that my money is very wisely spent, and I just know that they are an organization that is very, very keenly aware of how much they have to spend, and that they spend it to the best of their ability.
Compassion and accountability lead to results. What you see behind me are just some of the offices belonging to VMC's case managers. They really get to know the people coming through these doors needing help. They help them end the cycle of homelessness when they move into housing.
Well, I think that anyone who gets involved in the community wants to make sure that their time and their money is well spent. And that's really why I went on the Volunteer Ministry Center board. I've watched for a while the work of Volunteer Ministry Center, and it's clear to me it's about sustainability and impact in people's lives that they can go on to be members of our community. It's not good enough to serve meals. It's about giving people an opportunity to be successful in whatever their endeavors are. And 92% of the clients of Volunteer Ministry Center who get into housing never go back to the streets. And that's really what it's about. They become part of our community, they make friends, they go to church, and they make our community better.
VMC uses many housing facilities as it works to help people into housing. Minvilla Manor is its own housing development, which provides home and supportive services to 57 people.
Kenny was a beautiful little boy, and everything seemed to be normal until he was about 5 years old. And I started noticing a few things about him, that he couldn't get along with children. And he seemed to be a very unhappy little boy. And it was odd because I couldn't figure out what was wrong. He wasn't diagnosed until he was like 8 years old as having some kind of mental illness. So his teacher from the 3rd grade finally said, you know, Kenny's intellectually is going to pass fine. He's doing great, but there is something wrong. And I actually cried because I wanted somebody to recognize that something was wrong with my little boy. He just wasn't happy. By the time he was 12 years old, he was suicidal. And they finally decided that he had schizoaffective disorder, which is part of bipolar plus schizophrenia. He was showing symptoms of both. He became deeply depressed, and he had to be hospitalized when he was 12 years old, and he went into the CHIPS program and was in the hospital for 4 months. He's been on medication ever since he was 12 years old. And in high school, he had bad experiences in high school, and I didn't know which was worse, the illness or the medications they were giving him. After he graduated, he tried a job. He couldn't cope with that. He went to Pellissippi twice. He couldn't cope with that, and we didn't really know what to do. When I got here, I was so impressed. It is so clean, safe, secure, and everyone was friendly and kind, and I've just never seen such a caring, healing environment for our son. I knew that, you know, God had answered my prayers. He has made friends. This has made a difference in his life that I could never imagine him being this well and this happy.
Being able to come and go when you want to, having a roof over your head that you know that's yours and you're not sharing it with 200 plus guys during the winter, having the opportunity to be able to come here, that helped me a lot. My state of mind was not all that great after over 9 years being on the streets.
VMC has given me opportunity to have an apartment of my own, and it feels great.
I sleep better. I eat a lot better now. And I can keep cleaner.
If it wasn't for VMC, we wouldn't have our own place right now.
The Volunteer Ministry Center working to prevent and end homelessness. Compassion, accountability, results.
I have my own apartment. I have my own key.
Thank you, VMC.